Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? Man, it's good to be here. It's good to have you guys watching right there. I appreciate you guys joining this session. I know, you guys might have a lot of things going on, but setting your time and being here today in this session, it means everything, to us right here, Soil Nation One Africa. As you guys have seen the intro video, man, we're raising funds for our offices, and right now it's not just 1,000. We have already reached 3,000 plus, and we're still asking you guys to participate in this campaign. We're building One Africa, so we want everybody to be involved, man. Any way you can be involved in this movement, so please, you can contribute. I'm very excited for today. We're gonna have yeah, I have a feeling that this is gonna be a pretty good night session. I have that feeling, and I'm just looking forward to that. And if I have that feeling, I know you guys are gonna enjoy this time as well. So I want to ask you guys to share this link with your friends, with everybody out there, and get ready for this session today. I'm very, very, very excited. Welcome, everybody. If you're new to this family, because recently we've been having a lot of new subscribers. So I just want to take this moment to welcome you guys. If you want to know what we are doing, man, this Soil Nation One Africa, and this is our mission. We're here to defend the image, and bring back all the, heritages of Africa. And this session that we're having right now basically is to decolonize the mind through authentic knowledge, through real examples, through real African folk who are actually doing something out there in the community to bring about change. And these conversation they're just meant to inspire you guys, to show you that everything is possible. All right, there's a lot of young people like you and me out there who actually are become the change that Africa needs. That's like the change to change campaign that we always talk about. Be the change that Africa needs, and we have our people out there who are doing that. Yeah, so I'm very excited to have this session today. Before beginning this session, I'm just going to raise a word of prayer. That's what we do all the time. We actually did this before here, but we always do this before the session as well here as we're beginning, because we always keep God at the center of our movement. A lot of people have been fighting for One Africa and for everything that is going on in Africa for a long time, without seeing anything, without seeing a change. And, but what if we put God at the center of our fights and things that we're always fighting? And before that as well, I really want to acknowledge, different situation that is happening in Africa right now. Killings that are happening, in Ethiopia, and killings that just happened in Morocco and Spain. Morocco and Spain borders, our brothers and sisters were killed just, recently. And killings that are happening in Congo as well. It's very depressing, stories. And, we're just sending our condolences to our friends and families. But this is the reason why we're fighting for One Africa, because that could be a solution. Could be a solution that as you're running away from your country, finding a safe home, whatever country here in Africa, then we just pray and hope that you will have a safe life, in another country outside of your country. Right. We want to be able to have love, peace, and unity in our countries, in our continent, in Africa. And for you guys to have a safe life in your country and outside of your country within the continent. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're fighting for. And if you're part of this, then you're part of that movement, right? We are in the business of saving people's lives. And that's what we do day and night. And I hope you guys are going to be engaged. So I'm just going to take a moment to pray for that, and then we'll begin. Thank you for everybody who is joining right now. I appreciate you guys. God, I thank you for another bright day, Monday, and for another session that we're having right now. Whatever that we're going to talk about today, the conversation and everything, I just pray that you will, speak to your people. But most importantly, God, we want to see that change in our continent, and let this be a motivation and inspiration to each and every one of us who are watching right now. I thank you. I give you praise. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Yeah, Paul, Justin, Marriott, Shegao, appreciate you guys for coming back again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me take a moment to welcome Sarah into the family. Sarah, how are you?
Hey, I'm very fine. Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Hey, I appreciate. It's good to see you. First of all, you look beautiful right there. I had to put on my makeup, before this session just to match up with you.
I thought you said that's our little secret.
No, here in Sahel Nation One Africa, we actually brutally honest with one another. So we don't really we don't really hide anything. So I had to get a little bit of water makeup before I came here, and I hope I look good too. Well, Sarah, welcome to the family. This is the
Thank
first time to see you. It was if I'm not mistaken, I believe like 2 weeks ago,
you.
I
Yeah.
was just going through, Instagram, and I found your post, and, I was like, I found your Instagram page, and I went through it, and I saw that, you're doing such a wonderful job. And I just wanted to have this conversation with you to know more about what you're doing. Just to give you a heads up, I don't know anything about what you're doing. Like, I don't know anything. I didn't even want to search anything. I'm not a journalist, but I just wanted to have a conversation to get to know you, what you're doing for the continent, what you're doing for the country, and what you're doing for your life. So, but before we run to that, I'll just give you a moment to, introduce yourself, a little bit of your background, people to kind of like connect with you to know who is Sarah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mika, once again. It feels very great to be here. Well, I am Sarah Levis Moniwanda. My
Mm.
traditional name is Mbushi, which means flowers, as you can see.
Bushi.
Mbushi.
Bushi. So,
Mbushi.
so, so oh wait, so so like your traditional name is Mushi, not Sarah, right?
Yeah, so I'm called Mbushi as like a traditional name.
All right.
Everyone
I
else
think
knows me as Sarah Levis Moniwanda, but there's the Mbushi name there,
yeah. I
which
think
means flower.
I think I'll call you Mbushi. I love that. Okay. Flower. All
Yeah.
right. Better. Yeah. Mhm.
So I grew up, born and raised in Tanzania.
Mhm.
Um, Studied in Tanzania. I did my primary level at St. Mary's, secondary at Essex, and
Mm.
then graduated at Center for Foreign Relations and
Mm.
Diplomacy. I took
Mm.
international relations and diplomacy.
Mm.
Growing up, I was raised by a single parent. My parents got married and divorced when I was 4, 5. And growing up with a single mom
Mm.
demanded growth or led me to growth, right?
Mm.
I found myself growing uh,
Mm.
beyond my age because I remember I started doing business when I was in grade 4, 5.
Mm.
And I did that so that I could help my mom. Not that
Mm.
she complained or anything. I thank God that I have wonderful, amazing parents who played different
Mm.
roles and significant roles in making sure I am who I am today. But
Mm.
the fact that I was raised by a single mom made me want to do more. So I remember at grade 5, I would take sweets, and you know
Mm.
wuyu.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I would take the wuyu and sell them in school.
Wow.
Uh, Things like that. The money I get, I would save it so that mom doesn't have to give me pocket money.
Mm.
And I continued doing that through my primary years. I
Mm.
went secondary. I moved from selling wuyu to I remember my aunts were going to Dubai that time,
Mm.
so they were into the clothing business. They would
Mm.
come back home and with stock, I would be like, uh, I want to sell this. So I'll take the
Mm.
things, add
Mm.
my amount, and
Mm.
sell the stuff.
Mm.
I kept on doing that until I saved enough. And the third time they went to Dubai, I remember I gave them my money. I remember it was 100K Tanzania shilling.
Mm.
So they were like, they didn't know what was happening behind the background. I gave them my money. They brought me some clothes. And well, I continued selling the clothes now, my stock,
Mm.
right? And well, that was my life in secondary until
Yeah.
I moved to university where I moved into event planning. I would
Mm.
do gospel events, and it was inspiring uh, seeing myself grow.
Yeah.
Uh, I didn't grow up with everything on the table,
Mm.
but that didn't stop me from wanting to become. great.
Yeah.
I knew I was wired for greatness,
Mm.
regardless of the circumstances.
Mm.
So fast forward, I graduated in
Mm.
2016. I got my first job. My first internship was at a law firm,
Well,
and
what did you
then
study in university?
international relations and diplomacy.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
I'm a diplomat.
All right. Welcome to One
So
Africa.
yeah. So after that, by the grace of God, I got the opportunity to move to Pretoria, South
Mm.
Africa, where
Mm.
I was hired from
Yeah.
2018 to 2021, and
Mm.
then I came back home to continue my dream, which will be the main conversation of today, Aras Foundation. Um,
This.
Between the years around 2016, that's where Aras came about.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Before that. So, thank first of all, thanks a lot. I think that's a amazing background story, of you and family and everything. I want to flash back a little bit.
yeah,
You being raised in a single with your mom, right? As single parents. That's a
yeah.
case with a lot of African families here due to different circumstances and different reasons, but most of them is that a lot of African dads, man, we run away from their responsibilities. That's something that I can say here. Uh, how was life back then? I mean, you being raised with a single mom, and how old were you beginning, like realizing that, oh, I have only a mom?
Okay. So they got married and then they divorced when I was 4, 5. They separated when I was 4, 5.
Yeah,
As young as I was, I can still recall the trauma I went through
yeah,
because look, you're moving from seeing both of your parents in the same house to only
mm,
seeing your mom and maybe once in a month seeing your dad.
mm,
So it's not really an easy or an easy experience or an easy journey.
yeah, yeah,
So it plays as I don't know whether I should. Okay, I took it positive. Growing up, it was hard, but then
mm,
eventually I had to change it into positive
yeah,
because
yeah,
I was like, okay, maybe why me? Because I had to miss school events. International schools. I thank God that I went to good schools, but
mm,
most of the events required me to go with both of my parents.
mm,
Parents' Day. It's I don't know, soccer day where parents need to be there. And I would
mm,
miss these events because I could only go with my mom and
mm,
I would see another child going with both parents.
mm,
So I grew up as a lonely child. And
yeah,
I'm the only child on my mom's side.
mm,
I don't know whether it makes it worse or better, but yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah. Um, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Moving forward, flash forward to the time that you went to South Africa, particularly what you went there for a work, you said. So what kind of work were
yeah.
you doing, and for how long did you stay there, and when did you decide to move back, to Tanzania?
Okay, so it started plus minus 2017 till
Yeah.
2021 last year, June,
Yeah.
June, July.
Mm,
Um, yeah, so I worked in a publication company where
okay.
I did translations and interpretation, Swahili to English, English to Swahili,
Mm,
in terms of writings and books and all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And you stay for how long, you say?
2017 to 2021.
All right. Okay. And you decided to come back home last year, right?
Yeah.
All right. And why did you come back?
Oh well. Apart from homesickness, I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to um, I wanted to put my dreams into action, or
All right.
I I believe in ideas, but ideas
Yeah.
are just wishes if you don't implement them. So
Yeah. That's true.
as much as Aras was already there, I felt like
Mm,
I could more
mm,
when I'm here compared to when I'm not in the country.
yeah. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. So you started with Aras Foundation when you were in Pretoria, South Africa, right?
No, so flashback to that, I started it around 2016. We
Hmm.
did our first project.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah, around 26, 4th of June 2016.
Yeah. That's actually pretty long. So let's talk about that a little bit. Like Aras Foundation, what is all about? First of all, the meaning of the word Aras,
Mhm.
what's the meaning of that word, and how did that idea came to existence?
I was hoping you'd ask that.
Uh,
Um, well, as I said, I grew up with a single parent.
mm,
Uh, Growing up, I battled depression and I battled a lot of loneliness. I would feel empty. I'd feel some type of void. And I remember one day I thought to myself, if I have both parents who are incredible, I have to put it there, they are awesome. But I got to experience them differently and separately. I have both of these parents alive, and I can still feel this emptiness. How much more a child who does not have both parents? They live in an orphanage center. They don't have family around, people to visit. That's where Aras came about. So I remember saying to myself, I want to become uh, a mother to these kids. I want to be their friend to these kids. That's how Aras came about. Aras means it's a Polish word that means ego. When you
mhm,
see our logo, Aras
mm,
means ego, and then you'll see there's like a sun, which we
mm,
believe is light, and then you see like kids, a boy and
mm,
a girl, and then you see hands. So
mm,
what we mean is we believe we want to fly as high as possible to reach as many people as possible,
mm,
helping them reach their goals and dreams because we believe we're the hands of God.
mm, mm.
So that's pretty much
Wow.
what Aris and everything means.
Wow. And that was 2006. That's incredible. Like uh
2016 now.
yeah, like channel. What I'm really inspired is that you're spoken about you struggling with anxiety and depression, and
Yeah.
actually channel that to something Aras that can actually transform other children lives out there. So that's I think it's really incredible, you know how you did that, because a lot of people, they actually fail to do that, but they end up ending their lives. So I think that's something to be acknowledged. Wow, kudos to that.
I
And
think,
well, 2016 you started that, and how was it like, when you began doing that? We all know the challenges that we're facing in Africa, and how was it establishing that?
well, the beginning wasn't what it was a rough road, I can say,
Yeah.
because well, you have this vision, but you don't expect anyone to believe in your vision. We live in a
Yeah.
world whereby people want to see the results first before they jump in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So getting people to believe your vision was the first challenge
Yeah.
because I think I, it's just a passion in me. Okay, I have it. You have a passion. You have this idea. You want to help the world. You want to
Mm,
change the world.
mm,
But then what? That's just you. Then you're
mm.
faced with the real world where now you
Yeah,
have to convince them what's so different about you.
that's true.
You know,
Mm,
why should I help you?
yeah.
So at the beginning, it was more of I just want to do charity. I just want to do this. And I remember my first experience.
Mm,
Um, the first time we started, we only planned on visiting an orphanage center.
mm,
Uh, we had lunch with them, and then that
mm,
was it.
mm,
But I learned something that day, and it defined the whole
yeah.
RS as a foundation organization. I remember
Mm,
uh, we took books, we took food, we
mm,
took different things. They had given us a list,
mm,
and we spent the whole afternoon with them, I remember it was also my birthday, so we had a time to celebrate with them. And uh, the time we were leaving, Mika, the only thing that kept ringing in my mind is their faces. They cried. The kids were crying because they were like, "Are you really coming back? Will you come back?" Because we're used to people saying, "Tutarudi, we'll come back, we'll come again," but they never do. They never come back. You give us these days. You gave us this wonderful day. We had cake with you. We had what? But are you really gonna come back? You know, that question kept on playing on my mind, in my mind, and I was like, something needs to be done. So with Aras, we don't only visit. What we do is every year we'll take 3 to 5 centers. It could be 3 orphanage centers and 2 schools, and then we provide mentorship throughout. We provide counseling throughout. So we have programs that enable us to engage with the kids on like on daily basis, or maybe weekly or monthly. You know, that way we build a bond. We have we believe in a relationship. It's not just me giving a book, a textbook, but rather us having a relationship.
Yeah, yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. And to how many kids have you reached out so far? Do you have the statistic number to that?
Okay, so we have reached. I can say in number of centers we have done in Arusha. We have done in. I can't have the correct figure, but we were able to touch 2 schools, which 200 schoolgirls.
Yeah.
And we were able to reach to 3 centers. One is in Ju, the other one is in Moshi, and another one is in Kimara.
Yeah. And that's incredible. And how is the mentorship looks like? Like, let's say you're having a mentorship with kids. I'm a kid right now, all right, and you know you're there to to mentor me. How does it look like? Like, you can have a session a little bit to mentor me.
I'm supposed to mentor you now.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
there's a lot of kids watching right now.
okay, so
There's a people
okay,
in bed, by the way.
so what we normally do is that the mentorship and counseling programs, we make sure we deal with we partner up with different organizations that also do the same thing. And inside the team, we have mentors and counselors that also do these programs. Because, you know, as much as we will use our hearts and emotions and who we are, we also need to go by the books that we have a proper counselor sitting with these kids. Most of them go through traumas. They have witnessed death. They've gone through pain. They've gone through the fact that they're orphans.
Yeah.
That itself hinders them. Okay, it blinds them from thinking that they cannot become anything greater.
Yeah.
When you hear these kids, Mika, you find that you might find a child who is very talented. She or he can sing, but the song that comes out is "I am alone, I'm left alone." All those negative. She's trying to pour out her heart through a song, and it's full of pain. That's why we need mentors and counselors.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, talking about kids, you know, it's the today and the future, you know, of our continent, this beautiful continent. And you know, I get sad most of the time, you know, when I move around the streets of Africa and seeing little children's like begging, right, or some of them sleeping on the streets. This is the future of Africa, and I always ask myself, you know, how are we doing about, you know, these people? How are we doing about, because like that should be the first group that, you know, as Africa or African governments should care about the kids, right? Regardless of whatever that happens to them, this should be the first group of people that you care for, and you make sure that you give them a hope for tomorrow, because our generation will be gone very soon, and that generation is going to be there, and you're going to need them to take over the government, take over the leaderships, and doing all those stuff. So I really don't want to go through that because I don't like blame game. But I want to know from you: do you have, let's say, in your vision, do you have any plan to, extend this beyond the borders of Tanzania?
Yeah. Our goal is to reach out to Africa, the whole of Africa.
Mm,
We have started with Tanzania, but in the next
yeah,
5, 10 years, I can assure you that we'll be in every country. You'll have Aras in every
yeah,
country in Africa.
mm, mm,
So, well, let me just get back to what you just mentioned. You said about the kids on the street.
yeah,
Um, Without playing the blame game, it's that with them, it's a bit different.
yeah,
With them, they're already accustomed or used to the streets in
mm,
a way that for us to help them,
mm,
you won't you can't just help that child just all of a sudden.
yeah,
It has to start from here.
mm,
Because I know a friend who took some of them, but
mm,
they went out because they are used to that kind of life.
mm,
So at this point, there's nothing really that the government can do. You can say they will chase them away or whatever, but it's our responsibility as citizens to start changing their mindsets.
mm,
It's a process
yeah,
for
yeah,
them to accept the fact that okay, I should not go back on the streets. It does
mm,
not require the government, but it requires you and I.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Yes, I really hope that what I was trying to point out is there's always a limit to what, let's say, Aras Foundation can do, and especially when it comes to financial support, and how do you deal with that in your foundation, because obviously whatever NGO you see out there, we need we always need money to be able to operate and to do the work that we are doing. And that's why I think there's always, like, it's always hand in hand. You always need to have private sectors as well as government sectors working together to bring about change, because one or the other, there's always need to be coalition and support from here and there. And that's the challenge that most of young people like me and you, who have a dream and vision to execute, they're always facing. So I want to hear from you: how do you solve that challenge on your side, and how do you deal with that with your day-to-day activities?
Okay. With us, we as Aras, we engage with we deal with the government. We
Yeah.
have, as you said, we need the government.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from the government, we
Mm.
work hand in hand with citizens
Yeah.
because I can't be the only mom,
Indeed.
right? I need you. I need somebody else. We're the hands of God, as I said.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
um, apart from the financial side, with us, we need more people who will physically be, or the presence of people more than the money.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
as I gave you the example, apart from the needs of
Mm.
resources, equipment, tools, they need us,
Mm. Mm.
right?
Yeah.
On the financial side, um, from how we started with friends,
Mm.
family. We have this
Yeah.
project, please support. We have this project, please support. We went
Mm.
to, then after registration, that's when we
Mm.
can approach private and all these companies,
Yeah.
embassies, and so forth. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, that's great. That's great. By the way, that's your office, right?
Can we
That's
can we skip to the next one?
no, I'm getting jealous. I'm getting jealous because you're doing this session from your office. This is the good jealous, not a bad jealous. And I'm doing this thing from my room here. That's what we're trying to fight for. Hopefully we'll be in our offices very soon. That's why I just had to throw that.
All the best that I've seen your campaign, and I am like I can't wait to. You have to invite me on your opening.
Of course, you will be there. Well, first of all, I want to visit you to your office. You know what I'm saying? Because, guys, if you don't know, we are here in Tanzania. We're in the same city, but we have never met. We've never seen each other face to face. This is our first longest conversation to have,
Yeah.
prior to, yeah, exactly. So, and I remember last time when I was talking to you, I told you that, I'm gonna definitely make my way to your office, because I always want to learn, I want to grow, I want to, see how things are being done with great people like you, Sarah Mbushi. So I believe that there's a lot of things that I can learn, from what you guys are doing, and kind of like give a whole, picture, like practically, to see what you guys are doing as Aras Foundation. And for me, I'll be willing to join in one of your activities, so you can always like tip me off. I'll be willing to join if I'm invited.
You
Yeah.
are. You already. I think you're already part of the team now.
Oh yeah, come on.
Intern.
You're part of my team. You're part of this team. So talking about the office, we're gonna take a quick break, a little bit, like, 1 minute to 2 minutes, and I'll play this video, and we'll be back again for this session. So yeah, just for 2 minutes. All right, guys, we're gonna take a 2 minutes break, and I'll share with you guys the video that we were just talking about. Hey guys, what's up, everybody? I hope you all are doing good today. Man, as you know that we are in the campaign to raise 25,000 euros to get Swahili Nation One Africa office. And I'm just here, guys, to ask you that we really, really, really need your help. Why 25,000 euros? Because we need 15,000 euros to secure the place for the whole year, and 5,000 euros to buy furnitures for the office as well as utility. But also we need extra 5,000 euros for the studio. We need to buy camera, we need to buy lightnings, we need to buy green screen, chairs, and some other stuff for the studio. So in total, we need 25,000 euros. And that's why we started a campaign of €5 for 5,000 people. We're just asking to get 5,000 people, and each one of y'all to only give €5 in order to reach our goal of 25,000 euros. And you are free to give more than €5, but we want to ask you guys to participate, to be part of this, because these offices are not for me, but these offices are for the Africa. Having offices and doing what we do, it will help us to do our work in a huge capacity, more than the way we do right now. Because all the time, I just do it from home. But there's a lot of things and a lot of opportunity they're passing by, simply because we don't have office, the place where we can work. So we're asking you guys to join our hands and please be part of this change. We mentioned earlier that this is going to be the year of action. And guys, this is One Africa in action. Come and collaborate with us, do with us. And one thing I can promise you guys, every single euro that you will give, it will be used for a greater cause, for the office. And you guys will be able to see everything and all the reports and everything that is happening. We need you guys. We cannot do this without you. So please help us out. Until right now, we already raised almost 1,500 euros, but the journey is still long. We still have like more than 24,000 euros to raise. So please help us to spread the word. Share the link of GoFundMe. Go to our page of GoFundMe. Just write Swahili Nation One Africa Funding. You'll see our page there on GoFundMe. And please donate anything you can, and we'll highly appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. I love you guys. All right, guys. So with that spirit, man, here is the page. Just, I want to shout out to our people who actually, took a time to donate and to do something. So I just want to appreciate you guys. In the video, I say it's 1,000, but as you guys can see right now, it's 3,000 and something. So I just want to shout out to our people right here. Let me shout out their names a little quick. We have our brother Ephraim Biggie, we have Ezra, we have Marit, a lot of people anonymous here. We have Conf. I don't know what's that. Yeah, that's a good name right there. Ezra, again, Abo, Better Kids, Nahom, Sungapak, that's my Korean friend right there. To guest Teshome, we have Adisu, Marit again, Ezra, Makabudi, Senait, Ezra again, Adisu, Ezra again, Ezra, he always say, this is the Professor Ezra. He has his own show on Wednesday. He always say that his wallet is itching, so he just want to give again and again and again. I love that kind of spirit. We have Robert. We have Astake. We have Amel Mal Mgeni. We have Nahom. All right, Ezra again. We have to guest. We have Felicia. We have Marit. All right, we have Ephraim again, Biggie. We have Jonathan. We have Selamawit. We have Marit again. We have Abo, Ezra again, Jonathan, Marit again, Ezra again, Nathan, Abo, Ezra again. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm repeating these names, but actually it's like this is what they've done. We have Marit Antoinette again, Ezra again, Wondima again, and we have Tewodros, Ikram, Hannah, Felicia, Tanzan, Tewodros, Juju, Reiji, Amde Michael, Senite. Yeah, we have a lot of people, guys. Like, I wish I can, yeah. And then all the way to the end. I'm not repeating. Actually, you can see a lot of names doing it again and again and again. So I want to appreciate for those who are doing this. And I want to encourage everybody that let's not leave for few people, but let's all of us be involved. The campaign is, if we get 5,000 people and each one of you guys give only €5, we'll reach our goal. And I've shown you guys the look of that beautiful studio and beautiful office. So that's what will be, you know, very soon. And hopefully this conversation one day I'll have with Sarah in our office. I can't wait for that. So can you imagine, like, in the studio, you know, talking about stuff? That's gonna be incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. I really can't wait.
So one thing that we said here, like the team that is here in Tanzania, the day we are opening the studio, I mean the office, to say that we are going to actually spend overnight in the studio, because that's gonna be exciting day. Spend overnight doing like 24/7 hour stream and just celebrate, you know, with our family there. So yeah, I want to appreciate everybody who is involved into this. Let's get back to the topic. And guys, if you want, the link is down in the comment section. You can just do whatever, and I'll shout your name very soon, nearly the end. And let me encourage everybody, guys, if you're joining right now, please drop your question for Sarah Mbushi. Feel free to drop your questions right now. If you have any question, you know, about what we are talking about here, you can drop in the comment section, and I'll have an opportunity to ask. So you can start actually from right now. Yes, Bushi. I think I didn't catch something. Do you have like what is your plan in, you know, in the few years to come, like in 2 years, in 5 years? And if you have the vision statement, you also feel free to let us know. If you have also the website, you can let me know so that I can actually show here on the screen.
Okay. So currently we are working on the website. It's still under construction. But we have our Instagram and Facebook page, which is Official Aras Foundation. In the next 5 years, we want to establish what we call Aras Village. The Aras Village, we want to, just like the name itself, it's a community. We're building an Aras community that will facilitate or accommodate kids. We have spoken about the street kids. We'll have our centers there. We want to call them orphanage centers, because we don't want them to feel like orphans. So we'll have our centers there. We want to create a place where we have schools in the same place. We have hospitals.
Come on.
A village.
Come on. Come on, get out of my mind. No. Get out of my mind. You cannot come to my show and steal our visions and our ideas. You cannot do that, Sarah. Mushi, you cannot do that. You need to take it back.
And that's saying we think alike.
I just got really excited because that's part of our plan too as well. Wow, salute to that. Well, please keep moving forward. Keep going.
Thank you so much.
So there's so many ways. Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, please go ahead.
I said there's so many ways that we can actually, you know, collaborate and, you know, bring about change to the continent. You know, you said something area that is very important, and I've seen that, I've witnessed that, you know, in my travel. You know, a lot of kids in Africa. Africa is one of the continent. It's actually, I would say, is the only continent that it has been going through trauma for so many years. All right, the
True.
trauma of war, trauma of poverty, the trauma of exploitations, the trauma of colonizations, the trauma of
True.
neo-colonizations today. So many different traumas, and you can see the effect of what has happened in the past. That until
Yeah.
today, we still have a lot of conflict. We still have civil wars in our countries going on. We have our people killing one another. It's something that we still have to today. And when you talk to people, you realize that it's because of things that has happened in the past. We're still holding, grudges and actually, trying to do a revenge and pretty much killing one another. So, and there's so many deep things are going on. But I say this like I met this one little kid, in my trips, and he's very young, like he's like less than 8 years old. And I had a chance to talk to him. I asked him, hey man, who do you want to become when you grow up? And he said, I want to become rich. I was like, why you want to become rich? He said, I just want to become rich and I want to buy a private jet plane and I want to go to that town and I want to kill every one of them. That's a little
Oh.
kid, less than 8 years old. That's the vision he has. And that's the Africa we're living in. And that's why we have things that they never solved again and again and again, because our little children, they're actually going through traumas right now. And they see,
True.
like some of them, they're witnessing their parents being killed, their brothers being killed, right? It's something that it leaves a scar in their heart. And the only thing they want to do is when I grow up, and if I have ability, I want to be able to do the same thing they've done to my family. You can't blame that because it's true these things are happening, but this is kind of environment we are in. And your foundation, Aras Foundation, is something that can really help a lot of children in Africa, with all the mentorship and everything. So that's why I'm saying that there's a lot of ways we can collaborate, because one of our vision is to go to every countries in Africa, to open all the offices, every country is in Africa. Right now, we're focusing on here because here's where the headquarters are. This is where I'm from, but then we are going everywhere across the Africa, even in the diaspora as well, to have these, branches and offices to be able to reach to our people. So I know there's so many ways we can cooperate. And if there's any country you want to go to, well, we have our people there. So we can always connect you guys with the local people in that country to make this change in our continent.
Definitely. You spoke something about trauma, and your experience with the young boy, I assume. Look, the thing with trauma is that people deal with it differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
What he's trying to do there, it's called, we call it, he's creating a defense mechanism. Because apart from thinking it's a revenge, he wants to become rich so that maybe no one touches his kids, or no one touches the people he loves,
Yeah.
And this happens every single day to every child who has gone through trauma. Have you ever experienced a child who is very, I don't know, whether short-tempered or like triggered at a small thing?
Yeah.
A small thing will trigger the child. Why? Because he or she doesn't want to feel the pain. So he has created a defense mechanism to ensure herself or himself that I wouldn't go through the same experience. I've had my own defense mechanism whereby when growing up, I would avoid certain conversations, and I'll get very emotional because of those conversations. So for me not to react in a certain way, I would make sure I don't engage in certain conversations. Or I had that mentality of growing up. I had the mentality that I probably don't need a man or something like that, because in the end, what if I go through the same experience and that? So everyone channels their pain in different ways. Yeah, you get what I'm saying, and it's sad because some kids will think of revenge. Some kids will think of giving up because of circumstances and situations. They can't see beyond the pain. They want
Yeah.
beyond the past. They're still held from the past, you know. So we are ready as Aras Foundation to work with you in whatever country, whatever community, just to make sure we are causing a smile in a
Yeah.
child's face, in somebody's
Mm.
face, because we are the hands of God.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. You're part of the family. And I love the writings that you guys have it here. NGO that aims to at uniting people. That's basically is the everything about Soil Nation One Africa here.
Yes.
One Africa, right? Uniting people to reach out to those in need. I didn't even read this before. This is my first time to read this. To reach out to those in need and supporting their emotional and physical well-being. We are the hands of God. I love this. I love this 100%. The way and let me just point out something. You said something about this kid, like the example I gave, and you know what you saw. It's very interesting because you saw the positive side of this little kid who wants to damage the life of others, right? That you saw this kid trying to earn money to be able to protect his family, to be able to do something about, you know, his own environment. And I think that's a very interesting point because as a little kids, they always needs, you know, direction. They need guidance. You know, they need somebody to channel that anger into something beautiful, right?
Sure.
And I think that's what you guys are doing in Aras Foundation. And I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited because I see the bright future, you know, in Africa with people like you who are actually working really hard to make sure that is happening. It's
Thank
crazy
you
the
so
passion you have for babies. Do you just this is personal question, you don't have to answer. You know
I know
what
where
I'm
you're
about?
going. I
You
know
know,
where you're going.
no, I'm just curious because this is really it's really incredible. You know the passion that you have. So let me just ask you because I really don't know, right? Let me just ask you.
Because you
So
really want to know, right?
yes, I think Africa wants to know this. All right, how you
Of
know it's
course.
how can I trust you with my child, anyways? But what I mean is. Hey, my brother, I love this. So do you like you personally? Do you have a child or something like that?
If I say working on it, will it make more sense?
No, of course, of course. Working on it. Okay, that's very interesting.
Okay, just to say, I don't have a child yet,
Okay. Uh,
but I know one day soon, very soon actually. Working
okay.
on it. That's where the working on it part comes.
Then let me see. Today is June
Ah,
27th, so I need to add like 9 months after this. All right. Maybe in the range of that. Maybe
when I
it might
say
be.
working on it, I mean in the next 2 3 years.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah,
When you
sure.
say working on it, it sounds like you're actually working on it right now. And guys, wow, this I don't know, I don't know what I just said, but it just felt right to say that. And it's incredible. I think for those who are joining right now, if you guys didn't hear the beginning of our conversation, you know, it's this the Aras Foundation. It's is it Aras or Aras? How do you pronounce it?
Aras Foundation.
All right.
You're making it sound as if harass. No, no. Aras Foundation. We don't harass. We don't harass anyone. Please, let's put it
Okay.
out there. It's ARAS.
There's some tribes in Africa, they have problem with pronouncing H and A, just like R and L. So I think some
Yeah.
other Africans is a Haras Foundation, and people are like, no, I don't want to be part of Haras Foundation. What kind of what kind of foundation is that? But guys, it's not Haras Foundation, it's Aras Foundation. I love that. Wow. Oh, I don't know. I lost the track of my time. Anyway, so first of all, let me shout out to people who are joining here, guys. If you guys have a questions, please drop. I appreciate to Betty. I think Betty, she's very passionate today, commenting a lot in the page. So I appreciate for that passion. Ali Mam, I appreciate that. BJ, I appreciate to see you here. Paul Justin, I appreciate. So you guys, if you have any questions, please you can drop down in the comment section. Is there anything I left behind that you would like to also point about or talk about? so if I wanna volunteer, if I want to
Yeah.
be part of Aras Foundation, if I want to join your activities, what do I do? Is there a procedure to follow and all the stuff? Yeah.
Well, the only procedure will be you writing to us like an email or DMing us, uh,
Yeah.
uh, official Ars Foundation at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
That we actually welcome everyone who wants to be a part of our family. We call it a family. It's Ars family. So our doors are open, our hearts are open. No, 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 no. I'm not taking anything from you now. Please don't say that.
Of course, we just think alike. That's what I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, well, anyone who wants to join, we are open and we welcome everyone, right?
All right, that's cool. That's
We
cool.
need as
And
many hands as we can.
yeah, yeah. Guys have heard it. It's Aras Foundation at gmail.com, right? Aras.
Aras.
Aras. All right. Aras. Is there anything that I left behind that you really love? Like you're like, I wish Mika asked me this question today. This is conversation, so you're open to ask me questions as well. And if there's anything that you left out, you can also talk about it as I'm waiting for the questions here.
Well, I don't have a specific question or anything that I'd love for you to ask me. I think I've been meaning, I've been, I was impressed how you asked me how Aras came about
Mm,
because most people don't know how Aras started. And as I explained, it started with me channeling
mm,
my fears, my anxieties, and depression into something more meaningful to
yeah.
my community and the rest of Africa.
Mm,
Right.
mm. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. There's one question here from BJ. She's actually asking, how can diaspora help?
Oh, well, as I said, we need more hands. Um, by making sure we run with the goal. The goal is uniting. The
Mm.
goal is help. The goal is reaching out. Come on now. Did I say anything?
That's one
Yeah,
Africa right
that,
there, guys. The girl is uniting. That's one Africa.
yeah,
I don't know what she's talking about, but that's one Africa.
yeah. So really, come on now.
Yeah, of course.
So that's
Aras.
how, if you read on the screen, that's how the diaspora can help us or can join hands in doing that. Exactly that.
Yeah. That's incredible. That's great. Paul, I'm still waiting for your question to our sister Sarah here, our sister Mbushi. Paul, he's saying Asante Sana Dada Sarah. It's crazy that these conversation I usually have them for like almost 2 hours, but we were having this conversation before. You, do you mind open up about that conversation? Because we can just be brutally honest about that conversation here. Because right now it's 58 minutes. This will be the shortest conversation I've ever had in the history of conversation in Swahili Nation.
Well, the conversation we had, you and I.
Yeah, about the time. About the time.
Oh,
Oh,
oh my God. So I remember you called me and I don't know what I was doing, but I think I was walking or something.
mm-hmm.
And
You
I
always
was like,
walk when
okay, are
you
you
talk.
gonna roast me?
Mm.
Because I don't know you, you don't know me. What should I
Yeah,
expect? And
yeah.
then you're like, no, just you being honest and all that. But
Uh,
it normally takes 2 hours. And I'm like, what? So you'll be
uh,
roasting me for 2 hours, and you're like, depends with the chemistry and no connection. So I was like, oh, so if it's shorter, it means okay. Now I get it. I
we
get
got
it.
no chemistry. I hate to break this down to you, but we got no chemistry. Yeah. I think we
I'm
just
traumatized.
I think we just need to focus on the vision now of uniting people. That's it. Yeah. Because this conversation is not going anywhere. Paul Justin is saying itakuwa vizuri zaidi Aras ikifika na vyuoni. Do you guys have like okay, Aras Foundation Club like in the universities and schools is part of the plan that you guys have?
Actually, our volunteers are from different universities right now.
Mm,
And well, look, we want to start, we don't want to be all over the place, right? So um, our goal is to have the Aras Club
yeah,
from primary, secondary, and obviously the university. So we
yeah.
are working on that also.
Mm,
Again, we need more people to create those clubs and
mm.
things like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And let me ask you this: how can Swahili Nation One Africa help Aras Foundation? You guys, you started, a long time ago, but is there any way that we can help and support Aras Foundation?
Yeah, I think there's so many ways because it's you're actually helping us right now. It's through these
Mm,
conversations where we get to share our vision, we get to share our goals with more people. So
yeah,
not just for us, everyone who does a similar thing,
yeah,
this is the biggest way of you helping us because you are uniting us right now to somebody who lives in Congo, Nigeria. You're connecting
yeah,
us through this platform. So that's
yeah,
like our biggest help right now. Yeah.
yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Well, then we'll always be here for you guys and for Aras Foundation. And anytime you guys you have campaign or you have something that you are doing on the ground and you like more people to know, you can always come here. Again, this is your family. Like from now onward, you're part of Swahili Nation One Africa, right? You're part of this family. So anytime you guys have activities, you need some volunteers. You need to bring awareness about what you do, then this could be the place for that. If you guys you have, like, I don't know if you guys have your YouTube channel created already. Do you guys do have that?
No, we are actually working on that also. It goes with the same package of website and the YouTube
Yeah.
channel. Yeah.
That's cool. Then if you guys are open, that's great. We can also share your page. But if you have some, videos that you love to share to reach out to as many people as you can always share with us, and we'll be open to actually share with our audience as well to bring, more awareness about that. Because the only way that we are going to change Africa is by all of us coming together,
Together.
collaborating. I hate when I see Africans, they're not supporting one another. They're not pushing each other to the limit, right? This is the age and it's the time to do that. Nobody else is going to change Africa but us Africans. So
Yeah, I think
we
it
are.
has to start with us. It really
Mm,
has to start with us because those who are fighting, it's because something or somebody had to come and divide them or tear them
mm,
apart. But if
yeah,
we do things like this, connect all Africans with one accord, one mindset, one goal, like what you guys are stealing from our goal, well, we can
mm.
share, but then we
I
all
see
have
what
the
you're
same
doing.
mindset. If we
Hmm.
all have the same mindset and same goal, it means we'll be able to reach out to as many people as we can.
Yeah,
It begins with us.
100%, 100%. Somebody here says, I need Aras Aras Foundation now. Possible? Of course, you can email. I believe you can send your email at arasfoundation@gmail.com, and you'll
Show
have
our
them.
foundation at gmail.com.
Our official Aras Foundation, right? All right.
Aras Foundation.
Oh man, guys, wow, I'm sweating right here. Official Aras Foundation at gmail.com. Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, it's amazing. Well, then I guess you know that's pretty much from my side, guys. I don't see any questions from anybody here, who are watching here. So yeah, I guess that's all from me. But I wanna really appreciate you, Bushi, for coming in, for being willing. When I slide into your DM and ask you for this conversation, you were open to it and say not everybody is open to this, um, you know. But I appreciate that you're open to have this conversation and to come to share about RS Foundation, what you do. I think I've learned a lot today, and I think a lot of us as well, have learned a lot from you, Mbushi. aka Flower. So we really appreciate you for showing up.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mika.
Yeah, keep doing the good work, and we'll be there, and I'll visit you very soon into your offices, and hopefully we will have another video there to
A
just
continuation of this one so we can finish the 1 hour. No, the 55 minutes.
exactly. Yeah, we have like 55 minutes left, so that will finish into the other video that they're gonna have there.
Sure. Thank you so much.
All right, Bushi, thank you. And I'll see you very soon. God bless.
All right. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, that was a beautiful conversation, man. Like, it was a very light conversation, and I smiled a lot today. It's beautiful when you meet young people under the age of 30 who are doing, pretty good work out there. It's just beautiful. It shows you that, oh, you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there who are actually doing, you know, the same work. Most of the time you find these kind of organizations like someone with family, kids, and everybody doing something like that. But you find a young lady doing this work, it just means everything. It means that Africa, more than 60% of our population under the age of 25, right, a youth, and we are in charge, to be honest. And I always say this, that power is in the people. The power is in you. The power is in me, right? It's up to me to channel that power into, the right direction, because there's a wrong direction and there's a right direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's up to you to decide where you want to channel that energy, right? Just like the example of that little kid we're talking about here today, that little kid wants to become rich and wants to buy a private plane and to go to kill some people, right? But looking deep down that statement, it's just a little kid who wants to get rich and who wants to protect his family, because has already seen his family dying because of whatever craziness that is happening. So I want to be stable enough to protect my people. That's basically what he's saying. The way to do it, it's wrong, but because it's a little kid who exposed to all this violence all the time, so he just wanna pay back, right? But he has a good intention in his heart, and that is to protect his family. So our job as matured, as people who have this grace to talk about One Africa, to understand the importance of life and the importance of cherishing the life that we do have. Our job is to direct that anger into the right direction. That instead of doing this, you can actually do this. Instead of doing this, you can actually do this, right? And I think that's the vision, and that's what we work on here in Swahili Nation One Africa. And if you're new to this family, I just want to share with you a little bit. I want to take this moment to welcome you into the family. This is Swahili Nation One Africa. And our core values are very simple: love, peace, and unity for Africa is possible. That's what we believe, and that's what we pursue every single day. And this is our mission right here: to defend and protect the image of Africa and bring back all the heritages of Africa that were taken a long time ago during colonization, and to decolonize the mind through authentic knowledge, because there is actually history before colonization, right? Colonization, it changed pretty much everything, but we want to decolonize and get back to the original form, to our original identity that we had, and to create a bridge for oneness and peaceful Africa. That is our mission, and that's what we pursuing every single day. And our vision as well is towards a One Africa of solidarity in peace and love. That's what we pursue, and that's what we work on, and that's what we do every single day right here in Swahili Nation One Africa. Most of you have been attracted, came here, you're here, you're joining this family because you have seen one of our videos out there, right? You've seen what we're doing, you've seen what we're working, and you decided to come and become part of this. So I want to take that moment to welcome you guys. And right now, guys, I'm going to show you a video, right? I've been talking about raising funds and doing all this stuff for the for the Swahili Nation One Africa office, because for the almost 3 years right now, we've been working, but this vision has been in the making for over 9 years. 9 years ago, I knew that I'll be doing something great. I knew that I'll be doing something for my people 9 years ago. But the story began long time ago when I was just a little kid 5 years ago. One day I will come and talk to you guys. Maybe I'll share that story when we have like 1 million subscribers. It'll be exclusive, you know what I'm saying? But story began long time ago when I was 5 years old. But 9 years ago, that's when I knew that I'll be doing something incredible for my people. Right. And but 3 years ago, like in 2019, December 23rd, that's when Swahili Nation was born. And 2021 on March 1st, that's when One Africa was born as well. And since then until today, it has been the journey of working towards One Africa, a journey to One Africa. And right now, we're here raising some funds, asking for helps to be able to establish our office, to do what we do in a huge capacity, right? That's what we're asking right now, because we're doing a lot. We have been doing a lot. We have achieved a lot, but we haven't been able to have our own offices. So talking about achievement, I'm just going to share with you guys a video that is actually talking about our achievements, of One Africa and what we have achieved so far, to encourage you guys that, we have been working, we have been running, we have been working day and night to make sure that something is happening. And this is just a video that shows you our achievement and what we have achieved so far throughout this journey. So yeah, let me show you guys right now, and enjoy this for a couple minutes. It'll be like, enjoy this for a couple minutes, and then I'll be back to end the session. So I want you guys to enjoy this session for a couple minutes. So I'll be back. Please watch this video to understand the journey and why we are raising money right now for the offices. So please enjoy this. What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Man, I can't believe how much days are running, man. We're actually at the middle of 2022. And I just thought, guys, I should come here to let you guys know of what we planned at the beginning of this year and how it's going right now. I decided to name this video A Journey to One Africa. At the beginning of this year, I remember I came here and I told you guys what we're going to be standing for. I laid down pretty much the foundation of 2022. And the first thing, it was that this is going to be a year of action. Love in action, peace in action, and unity in action. We ain't just going to talk, but we're going to put on the action on what we preach and what we talk about. And you guys remember that we have been doing that so far. Even my trip to Ethiopia, you guys have seen everything. I've been broadcasting almost every single day, more than 80 different videos ever since I touched to Ethiopia to the time I leave. I was just doing every single day, guys. And not only that, but there's so many different actions that we have been doing to make sure that what we preach is what we do. In 2022, we have to be brutally honest with ourselves. If you want to see change, then we have to tell each other what is the problem, all right? It's okay to fight, it's okay to argue with words, but at the end of the day, we have to be honest with ourselves, because you don't want to be hypocrites. If it's our problem, we have to address the problem the way it is. We cannot just point fingers at leaders, but we have to point fingers at ourselves, that A, B, C, D, we are not doing right. And that's what we've been doing so far. After that, guys, we started to come with different campaigns. First campaign, it was hashtag One Africa in Our Generation. We have been fighting for One Africa for a long time. And if we don't have the targets, if you don't have the vision, if you don't have the point that we want to hit, then it's not gonna happen. And we don't really want to have One Africa on papers, but we want to have One Africa between me and you guys. So we started in our community to make sure that we are opening the doors so almost everybody out there, I want them to feel at home when they come to Swahili Nation One Africa platforms and to experience that, because that's how we connect and we unite our people. And so far, that's what has been happening. And we know that there's so many different things that we need to achieve. For example, having free visa, within African countries, or on arrival, like you go to the country and then you get visa right away, you can just enter the country. Those are kind of actions that will actually help us to unite our people even more. And our focus has always been from the bottom up. All right, we care a lot those people from the bottom, because we are from the bottom, you know what I'm saying? farmers, and people most of the time we don't pay attention. We have seen that pattern most of the time in our politicians. Most of the time they just end up, you know, sitting in the office and they don't really connect with their people. And I'm not talking about everybody. There are those kind of politicians that are doing that, but our focus has been from the bottom up to make sure that we are lifting our people from below, all the way from the ground. And that's why we don't care whatever profession that you have. If you're a farmer, if you're a doctor, if you're a teacher, this is your platform, because this platform is for Africans. And we believe that when we focus on the bottom up, then it's very easy for us to achieve one Africa, because at the bottom, that's where a lot of people are. In Africa, at the top, it's just very few people. Most of them, they're leaders, they're billionaires, but a lot of people we have at the bottom. Most of our countries are not middle income countries, but they're low income countries. And so we want to focus on them to make sure that we bring them up and we have that one Africa with our people. Later on, we introduced another campaign, #ProudAfrican. And this was influenced by my trip when I went to Ethiopia. You know, I realized that a lot of people, yes, they're proud of their ethnicity, their tribes, and where they're coming from, and that is good. We should be proud of all those things. But when you go to the countries that are actually facing a lot of challenges when it comes to tribes, then we have to be very careful how we address that. And so we came up with #ProudAfrican, that instead of hashtagging your tribe, something that is going to create this sensitivity, not only that, but it's going to create a little groups within our Africa, and we don't want to have that. Why don't we hashtagging Proud African, so that every single African out there will actually be included in this one #ProudAfrican, be the change Africa needs, because whatever tribe you're coming from is Africa. My tribe is African. My tribe is one Africa. What I was saying is that whatever tribe you're coming from, you have to remember that is Africa, and you are included within Africa. So let's #Proud African. Let's #Proud your country. For me, I would say Proud Tanzanian. That means I include all Tanzanians with me. But because I don't want to leave other Africans aside, that's why I also say Proud African, so that all Africans may come together and realize that we are actually one. And that has been going on so far. And be the change that Africa needs is that our continent needs change. There's a lot of things that we need change. And you know, most of the time we're looking at the leaders, we're looking at the people that will bring change to what we do have. But you know, it's a time for us to actually be the change, because Africa is craving and crying for change, and that change is me and you. And now we came up with another campaign, #Change to Change, which means I cannot change anything if I don't change myself, right? If I want to change Africa, #Change Africa, then I have to focus on myself. I have to focus on changing my perspective, changing on how I see Africa, changing on how I see other people who are coming from different tribe, different religion, different race from mine. You know what I'm saying? If I change that, then I'm changing the continent, then I'm changing Africa, I'm changing my country, my society, right? These are different campaigns that we're releasing and we're coming up with to just motivate our people and to motivate every single one of you, to give you guys a little bit of a direction that this is where we're going. And so how are you going to do it? It's up to you. You can figure out, you can give suggestions, you can do this and that. But for us, our job is to show the direction and actually to give you guys a little bit of example of how we do it. And I know that you guys have been seeing how we do it. We have succeeded to have live stream every single day. We have more than just one host. Before it was me, but now we have more other different hosts. So we have shows every single day. All right, on Monday, hosting different CEOs, YouTubers, influencers, and different interviews and conversation. And on Tuesday, we have Tanzan. She's hosting the show of African traditions. Wednesday, we have Professor Ezra. He's hosting Education in the 21st Century. And Thursday, we have Dr. Ebenezer. He always talks about potential in Africa. And on Friday, we have Pastor Ezra. He's pretty much doing a weekly recap of what's going on in Africa and in Israel Nation One Africa. And on Saturday, we have Big E. He's talking about diaspora. All right. And on Sunday, we have Wenda Tezi with the show of The Hidden Hands. And all of this. And also on Thursday at 6 p.m., we have another show, Swahili Session, hosted by Paul Justin. And all these things is in the mission of achieving that one Africa in our generation. And I do believe we can do that, because we have to be an example. We have to live by the example, lead people by the example. We can't just talk, but we have to do it. That's why we encourage one another, guys, please, let's continue to do it. Let's continue to be engaged in all these campaigns so that we make sure that we have that one Africa. And what I want to ask you guys is to be involved. This is the time not to sit down and to watch, but to stand up, to work, and to actually be involved. Because I'm telling you, man, it's happening, guys, and nobody's going to stop us. You have seen so many letters that we have written. We have wrote letter to colonial powers to ask for all the heritage to bring back to Africa, because our mission is protect and prevent the image and bring back all the heritage of Africa, and to decolonize the mind through authentic knowledge, and to create a bridge for oneness and a peaceful Africa. That is our mission. And every single thing, every single session we are doing, every single behind the scene and on the screen we are doing, it has been based on that mission. A couple museums in the United States have been releasing artifacts. They are going to release some artifact to Benin. And that is because one day we actually left our One Africa letter into the museum in the United States. And we sent some other letters into the Netherlands, a couple of the museums that are holding African artifacts. And we hope we can send to almost all the museums out there. And we release those letters publicly. And some of you guys, you shared to spread the word everywhere. Right, we wrote a letter to some organization when our brothers and sisters were held in the Ukraine, and you guys, you know that they were released after that letter. We wrote a letter to President of France, you know, after what happened to Mali, and you guys, you know what has happened there right now. They don't have French troops anymore, and we've always been talking about that. So all of these are the actions that we have been actually putting on 2022. And there's so many other things that I cannot tell you guys. We're expecting to have our website very soon. I've seen already the sample of what is happening, man. The website is beautiful. It's amazing. You guys will love it. Next year, we'll be having our application. All these things are in the process of action and making sure that we have everything it takes, everything we need to achieve One Africa. So we're going to be everywhere. All right, we're going to have branches everywhere. We have headquarters here in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, but we're going to have branches everywhere to make sure that we connect our people everywhere, because we have so many resources in Africa, and that is human resources. More than 60% of Africa's population, they're under the age of 25 years old. That is human resources. And we're going to connect our people everywhere they are. Even those who left Africa a long time ago, and maybe they lost hope for Africa because of what has been happening in Africa, we are bringing them back. Not necessarily physically to come back home. No, we're bringing them back to One Africa. You know what I'm saying? We're bringing them. We want their interest. We want their focus. We want their investment to come back to the continent and to support our people. And that's what we are focusing on, man. And this is for you guys. This is not about me. It's not about me. It's not about anybody else out there. But it's about One Africa. It's about bringing our people together. We have been divided so much. The other day I was having a conversation with one of my brothers from Angola. Actually, the name Angola, it's not the real name of that country. The name of that country is Angola, which means the kingdom. You know, but those Portuguese, when they came, they changed it to Angola. Even the capital city is not Luanda, it's Luanda. But they changed it to something else. And that's what they've done everywhere. When they came to Africa, they changed. But they didn't just do that. Angola Kingdom, it was actually part of Congo Kingdom long time ago. It was one country. But they came, they divided it. And when you look at the map of Congo, map of Africa, you see that some part of Angola is actually within the country of Congo. But when you look at all these borders that we have, it's actually one people. Those people at the border, they speak the same language, they understand each other, they're actually one people. And this is what we always say, that Africa is actually one people. And when we say One Africa, it's not a new concept. It's something that has always been there. And we want to bring our people back together. But because of colonialism, so people in the Angola Kingdom, you know, they're speaking Portuguese. Here in the Congo Kingdom, they're speaking French. So they cannot really connect with one another, because until right now, they're still learning those kind of different languages. We have to bring our people together. And we cannot do it without you guys. I want you guys to be involved, like these videos, share our videos, and we spread the word out there so that everybody will know about One Africa. And that's what we need. There's so many other things that we have achieved, and I'm not going to tell you guys today, but one day I'll come here and tell you again, one by one. But by now, I just want to tell you guys that we are moving. A journey to One Africa has just begun, and we are going there, and we're going to achieve in our generation. Please be encouraged. Don't lose hope. because we're marching towards one Africa, and we're going to see it very soon in our generation. We're working for our next generation as well. We don't forget them. And we want to see better and strong Africa, not only today, but 20, 50, 100 years to come. And we are building a new system that will work for our people inside the continent and outside the continent. And nobody at that time will look down on Africa. And we are the one that we're going to change that by changing ourselves and stepping outside of our comfort zone and change something out there. Guys, I love you. Thank you so much for listening to this. And I'll see you very soon. Be the change that Africa needs. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next time. All right, guys. Wow. So in this video, I've spoken a lot of stuff, and you know, I wanna show you guys some of the achievement as well we have made. So so that you guys may understand that when we are talking about these things, we actually mean it, and there's actually a work behind it that we are doing every single time. As I'm saying right now, guys, the website that I call it the best website in the world. All right, the best website in the world of One Africa Swahili Nation is actually being developed. Like up to this point, I can tell you this, guys, that we are able to show that website to you guys and start using it. But I'm kind of guy that I care a lot about the quality, and I care a lot about, you know, the good of the image of Swahili Nation in One Africa. Because this is, you see the fight we have. If we fight for One Africa, fighting for the image of Africa, then we have to show what is the image of Africa. We have to be an example, right? We have to step out there and show that this is the real image of Africa. If we talk about peace, then we have to become peace. If we talk about love, then we have to become love. If we talk about unity, then we have to become a united people, One Africa. So that aside, I've always been talking about the website that we are creating. I've talked about that in this website. So let me show you the prototype of the website that we're working on, that we're going to launch in pretty much in 1 month. And finger crossed, hopefully we can launch that website in our new offices. You know, that depends on your support. But let me show you guys the work that we are doing and how the website it looks so far. But this is not even the final result of how it looks like and how it's going to operate. This is just a prototype one. We're going to show you another prototype very soon in the near future for you guys to see everything that is happening. So for now, let me show you this prototype one. Enjoy, guys. Come on, somebody. All right. That's beautiful right there. So that's the prototype of our website that we're working on, guys. And I think y'all have seen, but it's beautiful. It's an amazing work. And these are kind of work that we are doing and we're working behind the scenes. So when you hear us here raising some funds, doing all this stuff, you just need to know that there's a lot of work we're doing behind the scene. And so far, a lot of people actually, listen, not a lot of people, I want to say few people that have been participating, and we want everybody to actually participate and engaged, in this move so that we make it possible. Our plan is that we're finishing this website. We'll be able to launch before even the end of this year, right? In 1 month and a half, we'll be launching this website. And hopefully having an office as well, if this goes well. And next year we're coming with our own application because we want to move away from the platforms that we use and that we're being limited pretty much, but start using our own platforms. You know what I'm saying? So those are different plans that requires a lot of times. And even this is another thing, even creating our own softwares that we can use for our people instead of using Microsoft softwares or using that and that. We need our own softwares, and we have amazing developers who can actually work on that. But it requires a lot of time, it requires a lot of money, it requires a lot of effort, and we are determined to do that. So every single thing that we want to do, we need your support. When we come together as one Africa and do it, it's going to be amazing. Even tonight, guys, I wish I can raise something here tonight. Man, I'll feel really bad moving and getting out of here without raising anything for today. That would be pretty sad. It hasn't happened yet to me. Today, kind of like feel like it's going to be the first day. It has been a dry day. Somebody get me out of here. Even if it's one something, just get me out of here. But all in all, man, we are trying our best, to work for Africa and to bring everybody on the table. The conversation I had today, with my sister Sarah here in Bushi, it was an amazing conversation amazing conversation of just uniting our people as well. Different creators, different geniuses, different people with different ideas, like Sarah, and coming together and work together, to see the change that Africa needs. So I see you all being busy. Nice work and keep it up. Look forward to the final decision and launch of website. Love a website. It's good to see you, Jonathan. How is everything where you are at? I don't want to mention it because you didn't make it public. So, but how is life there? I hope you're having a lot of good time and good food because there's amazing food right there. Yeah. So we have been very busy and we have been, working. As you can see, we just started third week and we have already raised 3,000. That's promising. When we started from zero, guys. This a little green light here you see on the raising. Let me show you this green right here. It was not even here, but right now we have 94 people. Not necessarily 94 because there's a lot of people who donated like even 5 times. So it has to be like 80 something. But it's a huge number. Imagine just the power of 80 something people. We reach to 3,000. What if we have 1,000 people? Can you imagine that? That's why I'm saying, guys, that this campaign is quite simple than the way we think it is. If everybody can engage in this campaign and do something little, small, big, it doesn't matter, but we'll be able to hit our goal. 80 something people, they hit 3,000. That's just 80. Let me say 80 people, right? Because a lot of people, like, for example, the Professor Ezra, he has done a lot of times. I think it's almost like 10 times. So for all those times, if we reduce, we'll have like 80 something or even 70 something people have donated and we have this amount of money. Can you imagine? What if you have 100? What if you have 200? What if you have 300? Man, we'll pass the goal. You know what I'm saying? So we want everybody to be engaged. You have to know that even if you press you give you $1 or $2, it can still be helpful to the cause. You know what I'm saying? Every single penny matters, and I want you guys to be involved. So, and we say this campaign that if each one of us, 5,000 people give just €5, we'll reach our goal. Imagine 5,000. And we can do that because we are a big family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So It's beautiful, man. It's exciting. And yeah, I'm just very, very excited to see where we're gonna get from this. Um, to just say the last person actually donated on it was 1 day ago. So it has been a day, a dry day, but 1 day ago, you know, Biggie he actually donated again, and that's why we closed up with he did this in his show, so we closed up with 3,000. Yeah, yeah, and now we're moving forward. So yes, somebody get me out of here. I've done my mission today. Kuru iti, man, you're right here. Come on, man. Kuru, I need your donation too. I need donation from Kuru. Professor Kuru is back. Uncle Kuru. Man, you're a prodigal son, I know, but it's good to see you here back. It's 3,000 already, all right? You haven't been around here for a while, so you see how people come together and just do the work. But it's good to see you, brother. It's been a long time. And we're moving forward, we're moving forward. So it's a big thing. It's a big thing. Actually, in the history of Soil Nation One Africa, right now I have to say that we raised like 8,000, more than 8,000 actually, because the first GoFundMe we raised like 5,000, and right now we're raising 3,000. So yeah. Congrats to all of us, Kuruichi. Congrats to all of us. I know you are a big man. You come here, you just give like you give the same number. You give the same number, like 3,000. I know you. Like I know your heart. I've seen your mom. I've seen your family. So this brother, man, I miss this brother. I don't know where he's at, but I miss this brother. Hopefully, I'll be able to see him very soon, man. Here in the family, and to hear his voice. Hopefully, I'll be able to hear your voice very soon, Kuru. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, I know what you can do. This guy can just come here and do that. Also, that aside, guys, let me say this: that I know I've said this at the beginning, and I'll say this as I'm closing right now. I know there's a lot of tragedies happening in the continent right now. And my friends, they're constantly reaching out to me. Even right now, as I'm saying, I just received email of another friend, a family member, and asking to talk about what is happening and what is going on. And usually, honestly, for me, I talk about it all the time. Every time I get a chance to stay in front of this camera, I talk about that, because it's Africa and I want the best for this continent. I want the best for each country in Africa. Right? And I'm debating right now if I should finish this and just come back to talk a little bit about that. I'm debating if I should do that or I should just continue with this, because I don't want to mix two things in one. But let me say this, and I'll see what I can do if I'll be back here again to talk about that. But it's sad what is happening in Africa right now. It's sad what is happening, has been happening in Ethiopia and in Morocco. You guys have seen the news I've shared of Africans, immigrants who just being killed like that because they are finding a safe life. They're calling them illegal migrants. When they're saying illegal migrants, it feels like they're justifying that they were killed because they're illegal migrants. But one thing that we do not understand, or they try to forget or to cover, is that these illegal migrants are human beings and Africans. You'll never find illegal migrants, whites, being killed. You never find that. But it's easy to kill a black man because you don't even think twice. It's black, oh, he don't even have a spirit. Our people, right? And the case of Ethiopia as well, based off ethnicity, people have been murdered and killed, slaughtered. Children, women, and everybody. It's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad, guys. Well, let me say this, guys. I'm just gonna end this stream, but at the same time, I'll come back with another stream here with my phone to talk about this situation a little bit. You know. Yeah, so I'll just create here the live stream, and I'll just come back to talk about this again, little quick, you know. Because I think it deserves to have another session to just talk a little bit about this. So give me some time, guys. I'll be back again to talk about the tragedies that are happening in Africa. A little bit to have a little bit of conversation. So let me end this for now, and I'll come back to talk about that. Well, God, I thank you for this session, the second session for today. Thank you for your people. Thank you for Africa. Thank you for the peace that right now it seems like we just see it in faith because it's not tangible. And some of us, we're not experiencing that right now. We're broken and we're hurt because of all this craziness that's happening. But we need peace. So help us. I'll be back, guys. I'll be back. I'll be back to talk about all these things that are happening. I'll be back very soon. Thank you, guys. I love you. I'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm just going to make a thumbnail and I'll come back on the live stream again, talk about these tragedies. So I'll see you guys very soon. Love you.